right now. It is 5:14 and it's a bumpy ride. Well, we'll tell you where the traffic tie-ups are. Rachel's got your commute. Getting you home sooner. She'll try her very best. She can't control the amount of potholes on the route, though. Nor is she volunteering to go fill them in. That's a huge job. Boy, the City of Toronto and us taxpayers, we know that we're in for a couple of price tags. The ice storm cleanup, I'm seeing piles and piles around my neighborhood, and you're probably seeing that on your travels as well. My Christmas tree got picked up at the curb today. It was kind of sad to see it go. Anyway, we're past Christmas, we're past Epiphany, we're in mid-January, and that's our thaw. 4 to 7 degrees right now. 4 in Cobourg, Orangeville, Kitchener, 7 in Oakville. That is positively balmy. The wind chill, still 4 to 7 degrees. Oh, look, there's a wind chill in Kitchener. It makes it feel like it's 3. Well, we've had minus 13, we've had minus 30, and we're not there now. We've got rain falling. Radar, this is time-lapsed precipitation last couple hours, rolling through the Kawarthas and Rice Lake and up by Lake Simcoe. We do have a system, a clipper system, meaning it's coming from the prairies. It's fairly fast, and it's fairly light as far as what we'll get. It's rolling through today. It'll usher in slightly cooler air, down to 0 to 2 degrees tomorrow. This is much closer to where we should be this time of year. Some snow late Wednesday, a couple of centimeters. Cold enough for snow again on Friday. This could be a little bit messy. And then all indications in the long-range forecast that we will be cooler next weekend, but that's not as bad. Anywhere near what we've had. Now, the roads. You've been tracking 404 South. Let me see. QE around Dixie. What's the latest areas?
Well, Suzanne,
you know, I thought 5 degrees in London, Ontario right now. 525. I thought that sounded pretty good. We're all in this warm sector. There's a warm front above zero, Ontario, Quebec. Then I looked at BC, and this stormy weather is bringing milder weather. There's a lot of alpine snow falling. It's 15 degrees in Penticton right now. 15. I was about to say, maybe you've been to the Okanagan in the summer or the fall or spring, the vineyards and so on. 15. That's kind of spring weather, isn't it? There's snow falling in the west, though. Avalanche control is in high gear. That's pretty dangerous work. They've had to close some sections of the highways in BC, including the stretch of the Trans-Canada that goes from Field to Lake Louise. That is a beautiful drive. Not today, though. Typical at this time of year. And big plume of moisture extending south, as you saw on the radar there. A few showers in Ontario. That's a clipper system, which typically comes from the prairies. Tends to cool us down, and it will be cooler on Tuesday. Several clippers on the way. Here comes the next one. It's diving a little further south, keeping Manitoba cool after the showers. In our long-range forecast, late Wednesday, we will have some snow returning. Again, Friday, and all indications are that the weekend will be a little cooler. Maybe minus 8 for a daytime high Sunday. Morning low, Rachel, minus 13. Ha! I scoff.
13. Yeah, that's a little too cold for me. I'm definitely enjoying these mild temperatures right now.
So we're reaching for the thicker coats once again. Still icy underfoot, though, isn't it? And potholes as well are becoming more numerous along with the cracks in the sidewalk. It's that freeze-thaw cycle. And we certainly had a couple of deep freezes this year. Thanks for joining us. Suzanne Leonard with the team. Happy Monday. Today is completely different to the weather of last Monday. We were in the deep freeze for the second time in less than 2 weeks. And now, 6-7 degrees, we're hanging on to that in Oakville. If you go north to Timmins, it's 0. If you go east of Halifax, it's 0. But in between those areas and certainly through southern Ontario, mild temperatures. And the wind chills, well, let's see. Still no wind chill to report. Isn't that nice news? Oh, we did take a degree off earlier in Kitchener, but it's very mild. Showers are rolling through, slick roads. Rachel will be along with traffic, your commute in just a moment. If we look at Tuesday, noticeably cooler, but still above normal for this time of year. We drop a little further Wednesday with late day snow, just a 40% chance of flurries during the day. Snow a couple of centimeters could affect your commute. Thursday afternoon it's sunny, Friday a bit more snow, and going through the weekend likely going to get a little bit colder. Rachel, the roads right now, a few icy patches, but a lot of bare asphalt as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We are looking at clear conditions for the drive home, but
mild temperatures still hanging on to 7-8 degrees in parts of the GTA. That jet stream, oh, you can stay to the north, thank you very much, allowing that mild Gulf air to move in. In case you're keeping tabs, Fort Lauderdale is about 24 degrees right now, which is not exactly hot. But if you've gone down there for some sun, some surf, some boating, that's a good spot to be. We'll check out the showers coming up in just a moment, and we'll check out the next couple of lows that are coming our way from the west. By the way, it's 15 still in Penticton and 11 in Vancouver, same temperature as Atlanta, Georgia. Mild in BC, but a bit stormy, paying the price as far as the avalanche risk being very high again today. And here's a look at conditions closer to home and that plume of moisture from the south. The low that's coming through, producing some showers, you can see that on the radar, is really an Alberta clipper. So BC storm reorganizes east of the Rockies, and that makes a weak system that's fast moving. That's what an Alberta clipper is. One clipper goes through, showers will diminish late overnight. We'll have some sunshine for tomorrow. Next one comes in, but it's coming in a little further south, bit of a southerly hook. So instead of rain for the next one, it will be a few centimeters of snow. It's an up and down ride for temperatures, isn't it? Saturday, the first number, Sunday, the second number, up again today, warmer this evening, in fact, than the daytime highs yesterday, and then down again tomorrow. But something that will certainly bring you up, not down, especially if you're a summer lover and a boating lover. Well, Kasia has been checking out wakeboarding today, walking on water, and also living a millionaire's life. A break from winter mission. Thanks, Kasia. A spot you can go right now. Conditions are getting calmer, too. Southern BC is going to be calmer and balmy. We are not going to be balmy. We're right now coming up to 6 o'clock. Temperatures are mild, but with this freeze-thaw cycle, with this up and down, and certainly more down than up lately of temperatures, we're getting more and more cracks in our sidewalks and our roads. Potholes, of course, as the asphalt breaks up with the tremendous pressure of ongoing traffic. Thousands of cars out and about trying to get back to normal. The city of Toronto, with the new year, bringing cleanup of the ice storm. We know that that's going to be going on for weeks and months. All kinds of stuff to get us jazzed up and excited, though. There's some great events going on. The International Boat Show is still going on down at the C&E Grounds Exhibition Place, walking on water and checking out millionaires' yachts. Kasia Badurkas had the tough job today. 7 degrees in Oakville, 3 in Orangeville. Wind chill, still not really showing a wind chill. And this is great news. I'm gloating. You know, we were in the minus 20s for air temperatures this time last week. Remember our morning lows, how cold they bottomed out. Showers are pushing off towards the east. We may still get a sprinkle through the overnight, but certainly after midnight, very low chance. The sun returns tomorrow. Temperatures are a little colder. Roads and sidewalks still going to be icy. If you're a runner, if you're a dog walker, if you spend time outdoors, or if you're a senior, if you don't have ice grips yet, consider getting some for your shoes or boots. That was the only reason I survived my run this morning. They're just like rubber bands, a series of them with little cleats built into them. You can get them at a sports store or a running store. There's the long-range trend. Rachel, we are getting cooler. The ice is going to stick around for a while. What are the challenges for drivers today? A lot of weather extremes around the world. Force of nature extended. Now our extremes. Temperatures way down. We had 2 deep freezes. Then they went up on the weekend, down, up again today. And there's a low that's coming our way. Will it put pay to this mild spell? Well, I'll get to that in just a second. Great to see you. Do you know that Whistler has had 37 inches of snow in the last week? 37 inches, 3 feet, almost a meter of snow they have had. Impressive. Lows coming through Alberta today with some very strong winds, so quite a lot of potency, even though low pressure systems get basically shredded, disorganized by the mountain ranges, the topography that they encounter coming through BC. This one's had enough strength to bring snow and wind gusts around 100 kilometers an hour for some areas. Now, in Ontario, there's a little bit of snow in the north. There's rain in the north, too. The temperature reaching 0 near Timmins today. A clipper system coming through. Number 1 does bring some showers, as we've had through the late afternoon, evening. Drier overnight. Drier on Tuesday, but late Tuesday, cloud cover on the increase, and that next low, a more southerly track, snow instead of rain. A few millimeters of rain, certainly in the forecast. Long range, we're going to be talking about some of the events coming up next weekend. There's this evening, if you're heading out close to home, or maybe the International Boat Show, where, you know, Kasia, it's been great to think about canoeing already at this time of year. and right in our own driveways. Maybe not quite a pothole in the driveway, but you know what I'm talking about. And the temperatures, as they drop, they'll still be above zero for probably one more day, and then back into the cooler or the deep freeze. I'll take you there in just a second. Good to see you. It's Monday. What a different Monday compared to this time last week where it was extraordinarily cold and everybody was talking about the polar vortex. By no means an unusual phenomenon this time of year. Just a semi-permanent feature in the atmosphere, helps to feed cold air. We've got more of a warm feed right now. Showers in green and potent weather in Western Canada. And I'll show you Whistler coming up in just a moment. They have had an exceptional run of weather this last week while we've been in the deep freeze. We had our thaw this weekend, 6 this evening, within a hair of 10 degrees in St. Catharines today. This evening, a downward temperature trend, courtesy of first Clipper system comes through. And it's a fairly weak area of low pressure, bringing some showers. Comes from the prairie provinces. You can see the downward trend, though. The next low from the prairies, also called a clipper, again, fast moving, minimal precipitation, takes the temperatures down and back towards more normal levels. On the weekend, we were anything but normal, although this is typical in January. First number here is Saturday's highs. Yeah, St. Catharines did hit 10. Toronto hit 7. What a fog bank. I don't know about you. Yeah. My part of the GTA, and I was traveling to Kitchener-Waterloo. It was so thick, dangerously so. Visibility was down to, a few car lengths at times on the 401. Snow on the ground. Our snowpacks have compressed somewhat after the thaw. Rivers and streams still running fairly high. Soggy banks, certainly. But colder air is going to be good news for ski hills. Big snow, always great news for Brunswick. Both have had some road closures. They've had some very mild, wet weather on the weekend, quite wet, and more wet weather coming on Tuesday. So there's not a prolonged break. We get a little snow Wednesday. We get a little more snow coming into Friday. And our temperatures are certainly going down in the long-range trend. Again, wind chills will be back in the forecast again. Go to the weather. Get those ice grips. I'm surprised that everyone doesn't own them. Runners, anybody that walks a dog, seniors, anyone that goes outside, they are so easy. They're just like a rubber band circle with some rubber bands across it, obviously heavy-duty rubber, with some studs stuck in it. They're called ice grips or tire tracks. They're basically like winter tires for your feet. So I had them on this morning, no problem doing my run. Great to see you. It's Monday. It was a week ago today that it was extremely cold. We had our second cold snap. And we've got this plume of cloud cover. We've colored it in for you. Really easy to see. It extends down to the Gulf of Mexico. It's not a soaker, though. That makes a change. That's a soaker coming off the Pacific. BC, Whistler has had almost a meter of snow in the last week. Almost a meter. So, it's just heaven for skiers and snowboarders. Our snowpacks have really compressed through the GTA and around the ski hills. But, it hasn't been so bad, right? There's still plenty of snow for skiers and snowboarders. Several clippers, 1 showers, that's now, and then some late day snow on Wednesday. Not everybody's talking about snow, though. Some people are down at the International Boat Show, like our Kasha Badurka. You can walk on water there. You can fish. You can learn to wakeboard, all kinds of fun stuff on a watery theme. There's our 5 to 10 millimeters of rain through southern Ontario. And next weekend at the International Centre, it's time for RVing, the RV show, the Total Wedding Show. So that's a look ahead. Heading out this evening, Billy Bishop 5, Pearson 5, Scarborough 5, scattered showers if you're heading downtown for the Raptors game, or Viggo Mortensen's in town, part of the David Cronenberg event that wraps up at the TIFF Lightbox later this week. Viggo is only here tonight, though, so that'll be pretty neat. Special screening, too. 2 degrees for Toronto. No, I'm not going. Couldn't get tickets. 2 degrees Tuesday, and there's a look at conditions across the country. And we are seeing that warm-up continue for Tuesday, though colder than today. Back to normal temperatures and all indications of a more substantial cool down. -8 daytime highs on the weekend. Some of our colleagues are there to share stories with you in the coming weeks and months. Suzanne Leonard and the team with you. Happy Monday. Great to see you. Not a lot of real stormy weather for many Canadians today, but there are always exceptions. And as we look across the country, current systems, still a lot of active weather coming into the BC coast. A nice break for the Maritimes today, thankfully. And Clipper systems bringing a lot of wind and riding the jet into Ontario. You've got some unsettled weather coming this week. I mentioned the break for the Maritimes. Good thing after an exceptional weekend. Saturday, gusts over 100. Record highs, soggy weather, and reports of some flooding. In fact, we're going to take a look at New Brunswick right here with some shots around McAllister Mall, and this really tells a story. Now, the January thaw, the winter mission, as dubbed by Chris Murphy last week, the intermission in winter weather. And 10 degrees for St. Catharines, but still plenty of cold air to come in the long-range forecast. There's a snapshot of today. Manitoba, still seeing temperatures in the minus teens. Antarctica, it's colder, even though, of course, it is summer in Antarctica. They're about in the middle of their trip right now, and they're going to bring back a lot of stories and more beautiful footage like you saw off the top. Experiencing the Antarctic, finding out about climate change, the effects there, the changes that have already taken place. Changes in the weather, looking ahead to tomorrow, still some cold air for some. Maybe not quite a pothole in the driveway, but you know what I'm talking about. And the temperatures, as they drop, they'll still be above zero for probably one more day, and then back into the cooler or the deep freeze. I'll take you there in just a second. Good to see you. It's Monday. What a different Monday compared to this time last week where it was extraordinarily cold and everybody was talking about the polar vortex. By no means an unusual phenomenon this time of year. Just a semi-permanent feature in the atmosphere, helps to feed cold air. We've got more of a warm feed right now. Showers in green and potent weather in Western Canada. And I'll show you Whistler coming up in just a moment. They have had an exceptional run of weather this last week while we've been in the deep freeze. We had our thaw this weekend, 6 this evening, within a hair of 10 degrees in St. Catharines today. This evening, a downward temperature trend, courtesy of first Clipper system comes through, and it's a fairly weak area of low pressure, bringing some showers. Comes from the prairie provinces. You can see the downward trend, though. The next low from the prairies, also called a clipper, again, fast moving, minimal precipitation, takes the temperatures down and back towards more normal levels. On the weekend, we were anything but normal, although this is typical in January. First number here is Saturday's highs. Yeah, St. Catharines did hit 10. Toronto hit 7. What a fog bank. I don't know about you. Yeah. My part of the GTA, and I was traveling to Kitchener-Waterloo. It was so thick, dangerously so. Visibility was down to, a few car lanes at times on the 401. Snow on the ground. Our snowpacks have compressed somewhat after the thaw. Rivers and streams still running fairly high. Soggy banks, certainly. But colder air is going to be good news for ski hills. Big snow, always great news for ski hills. Both have had some road closures. They've had some very mild wet weather on the weekend, quite wet, and more wet weather coming on Tuesday. So there's not a prolonged break. We get a little snow Wednesday. We get a little more snow coming into Friday. And our temperatures are certainly going down in the long-range trend. Again, wind chills will be back in the forecast again.
Go to the Weather Network.